AI isn't here to replace diligence teams, but to replace the parts of the process that should have never required senior leadership in the first place. So says CLA's Matt Bartholomew, who's here with us today to share AI's impact on due diligence. Let's jump right in. So I know that the purpose of AI is, in theory, to allow senior leaders to kind of take some work off their plate, focus on more strategic initiatives. How are you seeing that play out?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say where we see it first off really impacting senior leadership is getting another set of eyes, so to speak, on the quality as it spans across from trial balance, general ledgers, kind of the real sub-ledger activity, like the meat and the details, so to speak, and ensuring that flows all the way up to basically kind of check what the junior team has done. So that's helped out some of that review process. And then I would say also just trying to understand kind of fundamentals, what we're looking at in terms of the trends, understanding the sustainability of earnings, understanding the composition of balance sheet, really, and then also just scanning across the whole data room to really kind of intake what are the things that we need to know that sometimes you don't necessarily have time, even at a junior level, to convey to a senior person what's all in there and what do we need to know. So it's just another great kind of comprehensive set of eyes that are telling us what things need to be digested and interpreted from a senior level.
Mm-hmm. So the idea, of course, is that AI will take some work off senior leaders' plates so that they can reallocate their time for more strategic initiatives, things like that. Can you tell us how you're seeing that play out in real time?
Yeah, yes, absolutely. It is helping us really take items that are work streams that would take us hours or days, or I should say hours, days, and maybe even a week if it's to get something that's a little more complex than that initial kind of 1/3 of a broader project work stream, and reducing that down to days and hours. And so earlier on, we're able to understand, hey, what are some key insights and some valuable things to convey to clients as kind of almost like iterative communications with clients about things that we're flagging earlier in the process, as opposed to 2 weeks down the line or 3 weeks down the line. It's much more of in a further demanding environment created by private equity that wants to know more sooner rather than later. We're able to use AI and leverage AI to be able to respond more timely, I would say.
Mm-hmm. Are there any tips that you can give to senior leaders and their teams that maybe are at the beginning of their journey, or they haven't seen this kind of transformation yet as they integrate AI into the diligence process?
Yeah, I would say as far as tips, I would take some of the tools that are out there already, and it seems like most firms have moved down to where they have Microsoft 365, they have access to GPT. Now they're getting access to Opus or 4.7 with the Anthropic's tool Claude. And I would say just experiment. Experiment in Excel, experiment in Word, experiment in PowerPoint, experiment in connecting your folders of information along with the work that's been done thus far, and then also feeding your tool, whatever you're using, more and more context of how you've done things before, especially with respect to certain industries, the nature of certain deliverables. As you educate the tool that you're using and how you like to see things in the past, you're giving it a context that it can give you kind of an output and valuable information, but then also you can also use it to challenge your own thinking. If you've gone down a certain path with respect to a certain industry consistently, you feel like, I know that these are the 5 deal issues that always pop up on a software deal, let's say. Well, that tool can also challenge your thinking and how you've done that in the past and how you think about these things. And that's where we found a lot of valuable kind of almost just approach it with a lot of curiosity and challenge the way that you've done things before. So I'd say that's probably the biggest upside is take all of your work streams of how you've done a project in the past and challenge all the assumptions and how you go from inception to end.
Mm-hmm. All right. Approach it with curiosity. I like that. Matt from CLA, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.